Hey everyone, welcome to Breakout Wednesday. It is the 27th of March 2024. It's currently about 2:30 p.m. on the West Coast, 4:30 p.m. on the East Coast. First of all, remember, this is never financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is simply a video blog on how one trader sees the market, and everyone needs to take responsibility for their own decisions. Here's a chart of the All Ords. That's a weekly chart, daily chart. Still in an uptrend, right? Nothing's changed from last week. I'm not going to run through all the indices, but they're all going up, all right? It begs the question, whenever we're in a bull market, everyone starts shitting their pants that we're about to have a massive dump and a huge correction, and people get paralyzed by it and stop taking signals because they're worried that they're going to take a signal the next day. The market, they're going to wake up, the Dow Jones is going to be down 5%, and they're just going to get spanked, okay? And this old quote, Peter Lynch, one of my favorite investors: far more money has been lost by investors preparing for corrections or trying to anticipate corrections and has been lost in corrections themselves. So true, okay? And I just think for me, I'm not smart enough. I've never met anyone smart enough to anticipate corrections and know when a correction's coming. I know when shit's overheated and when I think the correction might come, but, one sec. But, for those who, kind of follow Twitter, Mark Minervini was kind of putting a warning out back here in, when was this, like December or something, about a pending market correction. It's now, nearly April. We haven't had it. I just think, you've got to block out all sorts of noise, including maybe even this talk, right? For some of you who are really good at this now, because there's got to come a time when you just trust yourself. You just trust yourself to follow your damn signals, and be disciplined about it. No one knows when a market corrections come in, and that's why I love trading trends, because as long as the trend is up in a lot of these stocks, I'm just going to stay in them. Once I get signals that the trend's ending, I'll get the hell out of them. And it's really that simple. The rest of everything else is absolute bullshit, and I'm trying not to worry about when a market correction is going to come, okay? Because it could come any day or it could come in 2 years, right? Now, I'm going to quickly rattle through some of the stocks I've been talking about recently, then I'm going to do some scans, okay? IAG is obviously up at the moment. This is the insurance play I've been talking about for heaps long now. Closed a new high today. Look, I'm not going to talk much more about it. The writing's been on the wall for ages, and the base was massive. Just, if you're a technical trader and you're not in these things, I'm not sure what you're doing. It doesn't make any sense to me. Sun, likewise, huge base, broke out, still going up. Okay, just not going to trim it because it's still going up. I've got that one in the self-managed super fund. IAG is in the trading account, but holy shit. Okay, it's not rocket science. You just need the discipline to stick with these things and be really patient. Don't stare at. Get off your 5-minute charts during the day. Number of people that message me with their 5-minute shit, it's just so dumb, and it's just degenerate, and you're going to lose money, and you're going to be one of these perennial losers in the stock market who you're going to get to like 60 years of age and you realize you've been losing money for the last 30 years. It's because you're stuck in the weeds looking at 5-minute charts thinking that all the answers to your money problems are down there, right? The simplicity is best for nearly everyone, and daily and weekly charts is so much better. I'm ranting, I didn't mean to do that, but let's just move the hell on. GDC has been basing sideways. This is the stock I was talking about, was breaking out of this kind of horizontal flat base. Okay, came back on small volume, buggered around, and boom. Okay, I haven't sold a share in that yet, and I just hope that keeps going, right? It's just like, if that can just give me another move like Nvidia gave me, it's just going to make top off a year and what has been a fantastic year, and it's going to keep getting better, right? So I think that's the key, right, with traders that have good years, is that when you're in a winner, you kind of just sit back and hope that it keeps going up. You're letting it run. But when you're in a loser, you get the hell out, right? Like, quickly. Let's just get that person pissed off, right? Okay, and so GDC's still in it, right? The next one, okay, it can maybe faked in a little bit with NXL. This is a nice tight base. I took it, and now it's kind of maybe coming back in base. I'm not sure. I had a bit of a wider stop on it. I'm just going to let it play out. I don't give a shit if it comes down and stops me out. It'll be a small loss. Big wins, small losses, who cares? It's just part of business. So let's see how that plays out. I'll touch base on that next week. AMP, I hope some of you got it. All right, I talked about it a bunch. Broke out. You can either take this early entry as a little bit of a cheat, or you can wait up here. I sometimes split it, and I'll take a half and then a half. It's up to you. Okay, it's up to everyone to figure out what they want to do. And then S&P. In the self-managed super fund, I'm now a proud owner. I had to get this over a couple different days. It's now broken this resistance. I love the fundamentals on it. I love this fake out here. I love the technicals. I love, the moving averages all coming together there, breaking out just above it. So I've got that in self-managed super fund, and I'm going to have a long, wide stop on it, and I'm going to be patient. I'm going to try and double or triple my money on it. I really do think that I can. I just need to be patient enough. So I'm going to touch base in that in like 6 months with everyone, and we'll see how we're going. Okay. Now I'm going to do a quick scan. Let's go into Darvis. Now let's click weekly data. So 100 period Darvis box, any box, and I'm going to click weekly data here. Okay. I'm just scanning the watch list, which I've got ready for this talk. I touched on it a bit before, but I think, I don't spend enough time scanning weekly charts. Okay. It's so much better. I think we all love our daily charts because it finds a lot of setups, but the best signals are on weekly charts. 100%, all the time. The biggest bases are on weekly charts. Why was IAG such a good base? Because it was a huge base on a weekly chart. Okay, all of them. Look at Sun on a weekly chart, clean as, right? If the base is not clean on a weekly chart, it's probably, I tend to walk away from them more often than not. When I find myself taking really short-term bases that I can't even see in a weekly chart, it's only visible on a daily chart, that's when I tend to be getting cocky maybe after a bunch of wins, and I start, I get spanked a few times, right? And anyway, let's just move on to some of the bloody results. EMV, okay, this is things, obviously had an earnings report here, went up, its base-ins had 4 tight weeks, daily chart looks clean, weekly chart looks clean. This is on the watch list in a high kind of priority stock. If this can just base a bit longer and then bang, there's going to be a really nice setup with kind of blue sky above it. This needs a rest, but I just think it's interesting adding fuel in here. I was talking about oil and crude oil stocks last week, okay, when I was showing the chart of Occidental Petroleum on the New York Stock Exchange and OXY and a few others, and this is a ASX listed ETF for global energy, and it's been basing here since June 22. Okay, so coming up to 2 years, right? It's kind of had to just stop and think what year it was then, but and I think that's significant. I was showing charts of uranium like 3, 4, 5 months ago. Forget when it was in a big weekly Darvis box like this, and now we've got fuel in there. I think it means something, and I'm keeping an eye on it, and then all the oil stocks with it. GEM, right, came up in this weekly Darvis box. Okay, let's just look at GEM. This is COVID. First of all, GEM used to be dull in the market, right? I rode this for a while back here and took a chunk from the middle out of it, and then it's just been hammered, right? Down. This is the COVID low here. But since COVID, it didn't really participate in that COVID rally, did it? And this is November 20, and it just kind of was up a bit, I guess. But and then it's been going sideways since 20. So we're talking about a 4-year base, okay? And now it came up in this Darvis box and on weekly data, and it's in a huge stage 1 base. And I think, wow, that's pretty cool. All right. Sorry, I don't have my damn glasses on. GQ6. This is a relatively new listing, which I've been stalking, and it's now in a weekly Darvis box with big blue sky above it. Okay, so it's pretty interesting. Stock. Hack. Okay, I've talked a lot about Hack over the years, probably too much. This is this one that was flushing out here and it's had a big run, and it's now in a Darvis box and weekly data. It's hard to buy it, isn't it? After it's been gone from $7 to $12, but it's not gonna. I will add to that though if I can, if it gives me a good opportunity. Hello World. I just think some of these insurance stocks, I kind of like Hello World better than a lot of the other travel. I think I said insurance then, but obviously I meant travel. For various fundamental reasons, which I'm not going to go into this second. But this thing has been basing sideways for a while now, and and it's now come up in the weekly Davis box. I would need to just wait for a really tight entry on that, which on a daily chart it might be setting up if you kind of look at this little base here. But I'd be looking for a nice bit of tightness that gives me a logical place to get in and with a tight stop loss, okay? Another one that's come up is Northern Star. I've been talking a little about gold lately. Gold really is pretty strong. Northern Star, if you have a look, it's had this huge sideways base and then kind of a fake out, and now it's just kind of given us a cup and handle, and it's sitting there just on top of all this huge base, okay? So this can tighten up here. There's a daily chart now. Then I just think that an entry up here with a stop down here, trading a pure Davis style, is going to give a pretty good risk reward. One sec. Sorry, my daughter just ran into my office then and it distracted me. So yeah, Northern Star, I'm still kind of stalking a lot of these gold ones, and Northern Star setting up there and hopefully tightening a bit more. Just quickly back to the old BH I've talked a bit about lately. It's broken this channel. I'm just waiting to see, are we going to get a new higher here? Okay, is this a high? Is it going to stuff around, have this 50% pullback of this swing and then come up and take that out? If so, it's going to be pretty interesting for me, and I might be looking at taking a new position on that, just on a classical kind of ABC swing high kind of trade, okay, which I don't talk about much, but I think in the blue chips and the stocks that like to over time returns back near the all-time highs on a consistent basis, it can be a pretty safe way to trade, okay. Lastly, before I piss off, is Pro Trader's launching a membership area soon, okay? It's going to be pretty cool. Been working on it for a while. The membership area is just going to be a bunch of traders, a lot that I know, have known for years, who are really, really good, and a bunch of our members in there. Obviously, everyone's welcome. We're going to have exclusive videos in there. We're going to have, I'm going to be putting all my trades in there. And going to have a lot of very good traders in there putting their trades, and just traders of all levels, right? Beginners, advanced, just having a safe place to chat. Pro Trader used to have this for many, many, many years. We had it, and it was awesome. I loved it. For various reasons, it went away when Facebook was kind of heating up. But I just feel this day and age that, there's a lot of people not on social media. I hate it, right? I mean, I would love to just delete it from my life if I could, I will one day probably. I'm on there for now. I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite place in the world to hang out. And I just feel like there's a lot of people that want a safe place, and I want to bring back the membership area that we once had, because it was really kick-ass and fun. It's going to be launching kind of in about a month. It's going to be a lot of content in there. If you're not currently a Pro Trader member, I don't know what it costs, like $70 or whatever a month. It gets you the software, and it also is going to get you the membership area. I just think that, if that's a lot of money, then I just think that it's better value for money than any other service. I mean, the services out there where you'll pay $700-800 a month to get into these trading rooms with, elite traders in there, and we're nowhere near that. And I just think it's good value, and it's going to be launched in about a month. And stay tuned. I'll talk more about it later. Catch you, everyone. Have a good one. Bye.